gotta get it, cause I gotta get it. I gotta get it, I gotta get it. I gotta go get it, I gotta go get it. I'ma go get it, I'ma go get it. So I gotta go get it.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy SB. Thank you much for tuning in. If it's your first time, be sure to subscribe. I'm clapping a lot. We're gonna get straight to it. So I had a few people that hit me up and had a question. So what's the new build process? What to expect? And most of all, was it worth it? So I did purchase a new build home. So let's talk about it. Some of the few things that we're gonna talk about in the video is things that you need. Whether it be, do you really need a realtor? How long is the wait? What's the shortest? What's the longest? All those type of things. So let's jump right into it. So first off top, was it worth it for me in my new build? Absolutely yes. One of the greatest decisions ever. Definitely it was worth it, more than worth it. So the first thing, because a lot of people ask me about the process. First thing I suggest, before you go book an appointment to go see it, before you even start looking, before you even get a realtor, what I would do is go find a loan officer. So the first thing that I did, I actually did look for a loan officer first, but the first thing that I got was a realtor. And the reason why I would have went with a loan officer first is because that's the first thing you want to find out, where you're at. If you're eligible, if you're able to get approved to get a home. Because if you're not even approved yet, you know what I mean? Like, that was one of the hardest things for me, was even going to the place to look at it, because I didn't want to get my hopes up. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to get my hopes up, and then something pops up and then I can't get it. Now I'm just frustrated. You know what I mean? So I was like, forget that. Let me even see if I should be going into this place. I went to Instagram. Yeah, I didn't go on. I went to Instagram, typed in loan officers. I literally hit up about 10 loan officers, typed in real estate agents. Hit up like 10 real estate agents. I'm going off pictures. I'm looking at their facial expressions. You know, I'm examining their whole life, because this is money. You know what I mean? You about to be dealing with a lot of money. You're gonna give them money as well. As it's like you're going into business with these people with a life-changing decision. I'm not just going in there with anybody. You know, I'm trying to feel the vibe. I was on their pages looking like, okay, what their friends look like do they look happy? It sounds crazy and it sounds funny, but I'm dead serious. So anyways, I found a real estate agent. I was like scrolling. I was like, oh, you know, okay, seems cool, boom, boom. Greatest decision, great real estate agent, right? So she hooked me up. She's like, look, this is my loan officer right here that I always connect with, boom, boom. Hit her up, boom. So that's the first thing. Go to your loan officer, because then they can let you know exactly where you're at, right? And then you can know what steps to take, because it may not be the right time for you to go directly to the place, or you can still go to the place. Who cares? You know what I mean? YOLO, who cares? No, I'm like, you can still go to the place to get the house, but you want to know where you're at. So first thing, you need the loan officer. Why do you want to get the loan officer first? Because when it comes to getting a new build, they ain't gonna put your name down. You're not putting a deposit or nothing until you can get a pre-approval from your loan officer. So that's why you want to go to your loan officer first, because you don't want to go talk to them. Everybody hyped up, boom, boom, boom. They run your credit, they run all your stuff, and then you can't even, you know, you get denied or something, or you don't get qualified for enough. So get a loan officer. They're definitely gonna run your credit. You're gonna get that credit check. So if you're, you know, look at this. If you're trying to get you a home, even if it's not a new build home, don't try to have the mindset, oh, I'm about to get a new house in 6 months. Have that mindset, but also expand it. 2 years ago, I literally had a plan 2 years out, you know what I mean? Because I needed that 2 years job history. That's another thing you're gonna need, the job history and that credit. So if you're, you know, struggling with your credit, man, what I did, I went to Credit Karma. I think that's what it's called, Credit Karma? Is that what it's called? Oh, no. Credit Karma is the reports. I had Credit Karma, but I used Self. And that helped me build up my credit, boom, 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 to where I needed to be to get qualified for the house. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna run your credit. So if your credit's bad right now, don't be discouraged, don't be sad, man. Nah, be motivated. As long as you have a plan, you don't have nothing to worry about. But first things first, talk to a loan officer. That's a fact. All right, so the second thing, after you get pre-approved, you talk to your loan officer. She say, yo, go check it out. You know, now it's time for you to look. This is what you can get approved for. if you go to a new build, take your real estate agent with you. Because as soon as you go in, if you sign this paper, then the real estate agent's not able to represent you no more. So then you'll be on your own with the rest of the process. Go with your real estate agent. After you get your loan officer, find your real estate agent. Find you one that you trust. Go to her Instagram, go to his Facebook, go to, you feel me? Why? Just because, I don't know, people, I don't know. You know what I mean? I've heard a lot of stories. When I was in the process of getting my own home, I did a lot of research. Like, okay, what did this person go through? This went wrong. Okay, what went wrong with this person? What wrong? I wanted to know all the ins and outs. So that was one thing I heard of just real estate agent, realtors who would be shady or not really shady. Well, shady. There were stories of them just being, they just like a non-caring attitude. Like, do your diligent research. After that, you're gonna go to the new construction place with your real estate agent. They'll give you the walkthrough. They'll talk to you'll talk to the representative at the place. And then you guys, it's just flowing, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna let you know different things. Like when I went to the office where the representative was, they let me know, okay, this lot's available, this lot's available, this lot's available. Once I found the model that I wanted, they were like, okay, this is the model you like, bet. They show you a lot. Now a lot is basically like the community that's being built. It's like the section that they're working in. It's probably like 40, 50 houses, however big their whole community is. But my lot had about 50, 60 homes, something like that. Probably like 50 homes in our lot. And I kind of caught the back end of it. So right at the end, she was like, okay, so for your model, we got about these 6 left. I think it was 6. 6 places left. You get one here, you get one here, get one here, get one here, get one here. So they had some that were in the middle of the street. They had some that was in a cul-de-sac. They had some that was over here. I was like, yo, I want the corner house. You feel me? Like, I don't want no neighbors. The less people I got to deal with, the better. You know, I'm coming from apartments. I'm tired of dealing with neighbors. You know, I need music loud. I need my movies to be played with surround sound system as loud as possible. I need a corner house. That means only one neighbor. So when I saw it, I was like, ooh, I want that lot right there. They don't tell you at first. They let you pick it first. They're like, oh, you like that one? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's nice. A corner lot, boom. You know, we all, yeah. All right, that's an extra 10,000. Oh, okay. Okay, thanks. Thanks for hyping me up and, you know, building me up to break me down. Thanks. Thank you. So I was like, yo, I don't care. This is a home. I don't want to settle. I don't want to settle for less. Nah. I say, all right, bet, let's run it. So that's the next thing. They're gonna show you the actual lot and the houses that they have available on that lot. Then right after that, you make the decision on which house on the lot that you want. You're gonna make that deposit. And that's basically holding your, well, for me, it's different. It's different with different builders now because of the price in lumber went up like crazy. The price in labor went up. The price in windows and all these things, all these prices went up. So that ultimately caused the price, the cost to make these houses and cost it to go up as well. And what was happening right in that time where I was buying my home, luckily my builder didn't do that. But a lot of builders, usually when you put that deposit, it locks it in at that price. But within 6 months later, it went up, you know, $80,000. So builders were like, certain builders were canceling on people. Ooh, man, it was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's one thing that scared me. That's one thing about this process that scared me and had me a little bit of anxious, had me a little bit of anxiety towards the end, was thinking that they were gonna pull out because of how much equity was in the home before I even moved in. I had, what was it? I'm doing a video on that too, of how much equity. It was like 80, 70,000 when I first moved in. So I was already like, man, like, I hope they don't pull out, because their stories online, they got to that last month and they wouldn't, like, they kept, oh, you need this, or this is wrong, and all of a sudden they'll just pull out. And now they don't have a home, you know, like that's the coldest stuff ever, you know what I mean? So that's one thing I would advise that you, because they give you the option to go with their lender, and then, oh, you don't have to pay that much down, or you don't have to. I was like, nope, I want an outside lender. And I'm glad I did that, because then if you have their lender, they're in the favor of the company. They're in the favor of the builder. You know what I mean? Like, that didn't even sit right with me. That's like a conflict of interest, just in a logical level of anything. That's like me going to a record label and I'm gonna use their lawyer. Like, nah, I'm straight. I'm gonna go get my lawyer because he's in my favor. You know what I mean? So I would suggest you go from an outside lender and an outside real estate agent, but that's just me. You don't have to do what I do. I know people who went with their lender and it went well. You know what I mean? So it's up to you. Then you get to that deposit, right? And that basically locks it in until you go to your final closing, and then that's where you're paying the closing costs and all that extra stuff on top of extra stuff. Have money saved, okay? During the building process, save every bit of money that you can. Work extra time, overtime, like, because it's gonna hit you at the end. That down payment and that closing cost is pretty heavy, but it's worth it. So nowadays they have some type of clause. I should have looked it up before the video, I ain't gonna lie, but it's basically like the price that you sign at for certain builders, not all builders. The price you sign at, it says if it goes, if the house price, if the lumber and all these prices go up a certain amount, then you have to cover the cost, the difference. I mean, it makes sense. You know what I mean? It's fair to the builder. But be clear on that. When you talk to the representative, tell them, be very clear. Hey, when I make this deposit, does this price stay the same? And talk to your realtor. I'm sure, they'll know how to figure out the difference. But watch out for that as well, because that's a new thing that's going on after these prices went up. Somebody asked me, okay, what's the time length? Was that worth it? Absolutely. It was like, listen, it's gonna take a year for your house to get built. We ain't gonna gas you up, we're not gonna lie to you. It's gonna take a year to tell you to leave it. And you like that? I was like, what? That's okay. Like, you ain't gonna lie to me about that part. You ain't gonna make me feel good about that part, huh? So I was like, yo, I don't care. A year, who cares? So the good part about it, it was supposed to take, they estimated a year, but they said because the main thing that would have made it take that long is because there's a shortage of cement at the time. And all cement for the houses that were being built out here in Arizona was coming from California. With my builder, and I was building with DR Horton, so that's what they told me. But within, I think it was 3 weeks, I was up at my house here. I was looking at this, seeing when they were gonna deliver the cement. Every 2 weeks, I was up here. I think it was like every week I was up here checking. Boom, one day, it was like 3 weeks, boom, cement's down. I was like, what? They said this is supposed to take like 2 months. So then, boom, came back the next week, something else happened, boom, then the wood's up. So I was like, yo, if they going at this rate, this is gonna definitely be done quicker than a year. It's gonna be like 6 months. Called them back, they was like, yeah, it could be. But their thing was they're always gonna say the furthest projected date just to save them. My house was done in 6 months. That's crazy, that's super fast. 6 months, my whole house was built, ready to move in. Dope. So that's the quickest that I've seen it done, and then I've seen it done longer than that. There's some people in the community over here where they waited a year and some months for it to be done. When I talked to them, did they think it was still worth it? Heck yeah, they said it was still worth it. But in those type of situations, that's where you have to kind of figure out your living situation and what you're gonna do during that time that you're waiting. I mean, you're the first one living in the home. Like, there's no one else has lived in my home before me. How dope is that? Is the home build worth it? Yes, it's absolutely worth it, but only if you plan. Because if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. Look at me sounding all smart, but that's a fact, especially in this process. You don't know the time length, you don't know, you know what I mean? It's a lot where it's not solid ground. So you always want to, this is the key, you want to prepare for the best, plan for the worst. Prepare for the best, plan for the worst, but prepare for the best. Same thing. It just sounds better when you say prepare for the best last. But you want to plan for the worst, prepare for the best, so you can be ready for anything, any situation that could happen. Whether it take too long, whatever the case may be. But plan. I hope this was helpful to somebody out there, and I hope this answered the questions for the people that asked it. But anyways, man, this is your boy SB. Any comments or anything, leave it in the questions. Leave them in the comments. I'll read them all, I'll respond. Like, subscribe. Let's get it. Next video coming real soon, so stay tuned. Let's go.